Just wrapped the series Venue Charges, so I want to read you the 2 story submissions that I took and put together to make up this story for you. As usual, I will not be looking at the camera because I will be reading directly from my laptop. Let's go. Now, the first story inspired the Trisha character, and the second story inspired kind of the base layout for the venue part of the story. I had to sue my wedding venue because my coordinator was the most incompetent person I ever met and the owners did nothing about it. My coordinator's name was Trisha. I changed her name, and honestly I shouldn't because she deserves to be put on blast. When I booked, the owner said they would be the ones working my wedding, but about the final 4 months they brought on their niece, Trisha, who told me she was the new venue coordinator. I only found out that she was my new coordinator because the venue stopped responding to emails and calls, so I showed up at the building one day to see what was going on. I really don't know why they hired her. She had no wedding experience and lacked a lot of professionalism and critical thinking skills. The only saving grace is that my sister is a wedding decorator and a day of coordinator for her professional job. She had already helped me by building out my wedding timeline and booking all my vendors. So for the venue side, it was mainly just setting up, laying out things that landed on Trisha. My sister's business partner, Bethany, was going to be working my wedding. They usually do 2 to 4 weddings at this venue a year, so I really wasn't concerned. Trisha's first big mess up was bad-mouthing my sister's business to me, telling me that they were arrogant and know-it-alls who come in here and try to make her look bad. I have no idea if she even realized that my sister owned the business, but it put a very bad taste in my mouth. I explained to her, oh, my sister owns that, and she tried to backtrack what she said. The next huge issue was that we added on extra bridal suite time and some mimosas and donuts through the venue. Come the wedding day, the doors are locked and no one is answering their phones. The owners were apparently on a cruise and Trisha wasn't answering her cell. We had to pivot and return back to the hotel to get our hair and makeup done. My sister ran out and grabbed supplies and made sure we were making up for lost time. Trisha finally called us back. She said she slept through her alarm and would be in soon and would call once the doors were unlocked. Soon for her was 3 hours later. We got a call and we headed over to the venue and continued hair and makeup. She also revealed that she conveniently forgot the food and drinks we ordered and she looked a mess. I overheard her talking on the phone to a friend talking about how she went out the night before and was so hungover. Next, we had decided with her that 12 p.m. chairs and tables would be ready so that all of the vendors could start coming in to decorate. Around 11 a.m., the coordinator Bethany we hired arrived and went to check in on the progress. She was shocked that only 3 of the 25 tables were up with no chairs out. She spent quite some time searching for Trisha but couldn't find her. She ended up pulling my sister in and calling her own husband to come on site to help get the tables out. The venue staff for some reason were scheduled for 1:30 instead of 10:30. I don't know if it was purposeful or just a typo, but it basically caused my sister to miss getting ready with me. Still no Trisha in sight. Finally, they located Trisha. She was napping in the nursing room. This was around 2 o'clock. My sister took a video of it because at that point it was pretty clear that we would be taking legal action against this place. It seemed Trisha had started the setup, got too tired, and took a break or a nap instead of doing her job. The coordinator, Bethany, ended up waking her up, and she had no remorse, saying that since they are so good at their job, she figured she really wasn't needed and decided to rest. The rest of the wedding went fine. I had a beautiful day, but there were several things the venue was supposed to provide but didn't. No late night bite went out. She blamed it on the kitchen, and the kitchen blamed her. The monogram we ordered through them was spelled incorrectly. And they didn't have any of the venue's yard games out for cocktail hour. They actually didn't even have yard games, but they offered them to us. And the last was the parking lot gate. Trisha left that shut up until 10 or 15 minutes before the ceremony because she forgot to open it up and unlock it. This caused a little bit of parking drama before I walked down the aisle, but everything else was fine. We ended up taking them to small claims court and won. I know several other couples ended up doing the same thing. The moral of the story here is don't buy and work at a wedding venue if you truly don't care about weddings or any of the people that are getting married. I'm pretty sure they sold shortly after, and they seem to be doing great now. Okay, so like I said, that inspired the Trisha character that was in the story. And here is the other story that inspired more of like the venue backstory. I was a sales manager and a wedding coordinator at a hotel with a large ballroom and a ceremony space. I booked a wedding for a couple who were 2 of my very close friends. The general manager allowed me to give them a great deal as they were friends, and we were trying to get the location reviews up to start catering to do more weddings. I booked their wedding about 18 months before the wedding day. All went well, and the subsequent months, I booked quite a few more weddings for the next season. The package they were promoting included the works, food, linen, setup, day of coordination, reception, cocktail hour, ceremony site, rehearsal location. It was a very great price as we were trying to get more weddings. In September, I decided to part ways with the venue. Not on bad terms, I was just switching up to be a stay-at-home mom. I onboarded my replacement and got everything up to par. Apparently, over the next 6 months, the location had a full overhaul. Almost the entire senior team left, including my former general manager. When my friend's wedding rolled around, it was a complete nightmare. About a week before the planner told the bride, we are only providing food service in location. There was no longer day of coordination, no help whatsoever. I was a bridesmaid in the wedding and tried to go talk to management, explaining how I was the person who wrote their contract and asking if I could gain access to be able to do the day of coordination myself. My former coworkers told me that the new manager was clear that I was under no circumstances allowed behind the scenes and to tell me they refused to speak with me at all. They were providing all that they needed to. The bridesmaids did their best we could, but the ceremony was very sad looking and the reception was disjointed with no coordinator. The one remaining manager I knew from housekeeping did bring us linens, though I heard a rumor she was yelled at for helping us. The icing on top of the cake, the servers didn't know what food went to who or what time it was scheduled to be served. The chicken was served raw, food was cold, venue was just sad looking, no extra care put into anything at all. The couple ended up getting half their money refund. I did hear from 2 other brides I booked before departing that they also had a terrible experience, and one stated her vendors were even told they needed to eat their meal outdoors, even though the bride put them on the seating chart. Needless to say, the hotel was under completely new management by the next year. So that was the part of the story that kind of inspired the venue contract and trying to charge them more for services they weren't providing. So yeah, I hope you guys like that one. It was really fun to play out. And I think the story was a bit crazy because I was making it super dramatic, but that was it.